Hello, hello, hello. Assalamu alaikum. Ji ayanu pakhair ragale ni hawa chunashume washmale ohio gonzaimis. Guten Morgen. Hi, hugs and hellos. Khush Ahmadid and marhaba. Thank you very much for tuning into PT Were You watching World this morning alongside Maha Makhdoom and Shazad Khan. Hello Maha, how are you?
Hello Shazad, assalamu alaikum everyone. I'm very well today. How are you?
Absolutely perfect. So Maha, how's your day going so far?
It's going okay.
What do you exactly mean by that?
It's okay. It's not good. It's not great. It's okay.
But it's all right that,
You can't always have great days because there's always people who are going to test your patience.
Well, I certainly don't want to be the one, but
No.
let's get started with the show, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes.
Obviously, we'll move on towards the top stories first of all. So let's check out what are the top stories for this hour.
Yes.
Let's take a look.
Okay, so Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif has underlined the need for a concerted effort to achieve the target of $5 billion in bilateral trade between Pakistan and Iran as soon as possible.
Well, that's great.
Yeah,
And now moving on towards the second headline, ladies and gentlemen, Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif says Pakistan and Sri Lanka need to enhance cooperation in various fields and work jointly for achieving regional peace and stability. Great initiative.
Yeah, and then the Minister of State for Information, Mariam Aurangzeb, has said that the government is taking steps to ensure the security, safety, and welfare of journalists, which is great. I really like this lady. She's
Same
very
here.
great.
Moving on now, ladies and gentlemen, towards sports. And since, the only thing I was thinking was that is that whenever we talk about sports news, it's just cricket. So let's talk about cricket. West Indies will resume their second innings at 264 for 9 against Pakistan on final day of second cricket test at Kensington Oval in Barbados. PTV Sports is telecasting the match live. I think I've got great hope that Pakistan might win as well.
Yeah.
There are fair chances of Pakistan winning, and they've been performing well.
Exactly, and I think the reason why there's so much cricket is because right now that's what's going on. And as we found out, the footballing situation is in a bit of a mess, so hopefully that will get resolved soon as well.
And with that, ladies and gentlemen, we definitely have to move on towards our public service message for today, and we do have a great one as well.
It
Let's take a
absolutely
look.
is. Right, so the public service message for today is that we have people that come to our homes who clean up our homes, they clean up our kitchens, cars, iron our clothes. When they come, they are working for you. They are not doing you a favor. So our public service message is treat them with respect, treat them with dignity, and also pay them fairly.
And other than that, Ma, I think what we need to say probably is that, just treat everybody else fairly, nicely.
How
And,
you would want to be treated.
Yeah, and make sure that, that the way you want to be treated by other people, that's how you treat other people as well. So that's what the public service message is. But I think now we need to move on towards what we are discussing today, and it is going to be a great show.
Yes.
Because we have been trying to, probably project. We have been trying to project all types of talent over here, but ladies and gentlemen, the young talent of Pakistan, the youth of Pakistan is actually making Pakistan proud. How? That's something which Maha would like to add on to.
We will share that with you, but I think we're going for a short break now because I think I've got problems with my earpiece. I'm not hearing correctly, but we're going to go for a short break. And when you come back, we're going to discuss our topic and tell you what the youth of today are doing. And it's absolutely fantastic, so do stay tuned.
the largest cultural activity in Pakistan is the annual National Folk Festival, Lok Mela, held in Islamabad in October each year. Over the past 2 decades, this festival has taken on an international flavor, and more than 20 different countries have sent their artisans and performers to participate in the festival. Nationally, the festival has become a thing of pride for artisans and performers who come on their own to participate. Most important of all, the provinces of Pakistan and Azad Jammu and Kashmir put up beautifully decorated pavilions, and visitors had the unique opportunity to see an assortment of Pakistan's traditionally rich culture in the federal capital of Islamabad for an exciting 10 days. An exhibition of artisans at work under the banner of the Heritage Museum forms the core of this festival. Pavilions of each province depict their own regional culture and crafts. The Research and Media Center of Lok Virsa arranges groups of dancers that perform all over the festival grounds, inviting visitors to join in, and in the evening arranges music concerts from all.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. For everybody who just got tuned into PT World, thank you very much for tuning in. You guys are watching well this morning alongside Shazad Khan and Maha Makhdoom.
Yes.
Today, ladies and gentlemen, we are talking about something. In fact, today we are talking about the youngsters of Pakistan who are actually making us proud. How? We've got a small video for that.
Yes.
Do you want to say something?
No, let's go take a look at the video and then you come back, we will discuss it.
Exactly.
Imagine that one day you wake up and you're unable to do the most basic tasks, like eating, drinking, or even dressing yourselves. Imagine how would it actually make you feel being dependent on someone else for the rest of your lives. The fragment of imagination that we just created is actually the sad reality of over 280 million people around the world who have lost their independence due to one of the most common movement disorders in the world, known as pathological tremors. These tremors cause involuntary shaking of the body parts, most commonly your hands, which disables the patient. And people most commonly know these tremors as Parkinson's or essential tremors. And despite being such a major problem, even in this modern age of medical miracles, there is still no cure for the disorder. However, there are some existing solutions, like medication, which only has a temporary effect and the body eventually becomes immune to it. Or deep brain stimulation, which involves the placement of electrodes inside the brain. It is a highly expensive procedure and causes surgical complications and may have adverse side effects. Other solutions either have a limited application, or they hinder the voluntary movement of the patient. So in these circumstances, I'd like to say that the existing solutions are just not enough. This creates a wall for the patient, which forces them to depend on others for the rest of their lives. So in these circumstances, I present to you TAME, a wearable device that you can discreetly wear under your shirt for real-time diagnosis and suppression of any rhythmic tremors. The technology that we are using is known as functional electrical stimulation. The device is able to detect the rhythmic motion of the hand and uses electrical stimulations to actuate a group of muscles and in turn generate a movement that counters the tremor movement and thus effectively suppressing the tremor. The novelty of the device is that you can wear it discreetly under your shirt, and it has sensors and electrodes which actuate the group of muscles and does not hinder the voluntary movement of the patient. We've also made a smartphone companion app that logs the tremor profile of the patient and helps the doctor in diagnosing the patient in a better way. So this is an initial prototype that we've been working on, and we've tested it on a couple of patients, and which has yielded positive results. Now, this product was actually voted as one of the best products in a global competition held by IEEE by industry leaders, and we've been working on this day and night to make this dream a reality. So ladies and gentlemen, I am Awais Safiq from Pakistan, and join me as we break down this wall and moves one step closer to giving the people back their independence.
I was really excited.
Yeah, I am excited because, ladies and gentlemen, these people are making us proud because of the fact that they were competing in a competition which was known as Stanford Center on Longevity Design Challenge 2017.
Yes.
It was held in California. Their device they actually came up with, the name of the device is TAME. You pretty much know about it, that, you know, it controls pathological tremors. Other than
And
that,
they came first.
Yep, I was about to say that. I was reaching for
No,
this.
because you said everything.
There
So I was
was
like, I'm going to say the main thing.
There was Virginia University, Massachusetts University. Well, the guys are here. You know,
Yes.
they've made us proud. They've made the entire nation proud. It's going to be a multi-billion-dollar industry as well. You know, so it's just the start. Let's ask them, how do they feel, first of all? And let's see who do we have with us.
Exactly. So let's introduce our guest and get the conversation started. So we have been joined by Awais Shafiq. He is a BS in Electrical Engineering. Assalamu alaikum. Good morning.
Walaikum
And the
assalam. Thank you
co-founder
very
of
much.
TAME.
Yeah.
Hello, how are you? Thank you very much for coming over.
Thank you very much for having me.
Besides Awais, we've been joined by Huria Anam. She is also part of the team. Assalamu alaikum. Good morning.
Good morning to you.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah.
Besides Huria, we've been joined by Mohammed Arslan Javed, and he's also part of the team.
And he just woke up. Hello. Hello, Mohammed Javed. How are you? Good morning. Thank you very much, guys, for coming over.
Okay, so we're going to find out what everyone's roles were in this because, you know, we've kept it loose because we want you guys to tell us about it. So Shazad's going to ask the first question.
All right, so let's get started. First of all, first things first, how do you guys feel? Because you guys were competing against all the international universities and the students were from all over the world as well. How do you feel in the first place? Did you ever thought or think about winning as well?
Yeah, so when we actually went to the competition in Stanford University, and we were up against like MIT, Stanford, Berkeley, Virginia
Amazing.
Tech, all the top universities, all the top names at that stage.
Yeah.
So when we went there, as Pakistanis, although we don't have that research facility, so we think that we're not at that level. But what I'm proud of this team is that wherever we go, alhamdulillah, we try to give our best.
Alhamdulillah.
So although we were quite nervous, but not to brag, we came through.
Yeah, well,
Amazing.
you won, so that's
Huria,
great.
you didn't get to go to California. What happened? Did you go?
She did.
Or, all right, she did.
Everyone
She
did.
did. The first thing which was very surprising for me was that, you know, a lady being an engineer as well, you know, that was a very different thing over
Why?
here. Because when we used to go to our university, you know, there was 48 guys in an engineering class and 2 ladies only. It was like, all right, you know, that's perfect. So you guys definitely make a good team as well.
But you know, when you say these things, I feel like you've jumped out of like 1950.
Probably.
When I
man,
was
probably.
younger, there's 2 girls. I remember.
Curious case of Benjamin, you know, that's what it is. What about you? How do you feel about it?
Actually, I was the lead presenter
Wow.
for this competition, and just like Awais, we were all like really anxious and a bit maybe we were all really anxious about the competition itself because obviously they were the top universities of the world and teams from there. They were quite competitive. But what we had in mind was that we have to do something for Pakistan today in this platform, right there and then, and then we won.
And you guys did it. Wow.
Excellent. So you tell us, Arslan, how did it feel when you guys actually won in front of all these people? You know, your peers.
Well, actually, I didn't get to go to
Oh, you didn't go. Oh,
He was sleeping.
I think we're all sleeping kind of hard today.
something like that.
Okay, so when you got a call, oh, dude,
won.
we won. What
Yeah,
did you do?
It was unreal. I was just preparing for the PR that we're going to get.
Yeah, excellent. Okay, so now that we've found out your reactions and how it felt to be there, so tell us, Awais, how did you come up with this? How did you pick pathological tremors and where did this begin from?
Well, being an electrical engineer, I always thought that I would actually make electrical devices, consumer electronics and stuff.
For example, fridge oven.
Yeah, fridge oven and remotes. But I've actually seen this problem around me, in my family, friends. So I had this personal connection with this problem, and when I saw them, they couldn't actually do their basic tasks. They couldn't actually eat, drink, or even dress themselves. So I had that personal connection.
Yeah.
So I wanted to use my engineering knowledge to actually help them do their basic tasks, and that's how the whole team. That's the common thing in us, that we actually felt about this so strongly. So we came up with this idea, and so we wanted to use this research to help them.
Excellent. Okay, so now then what was the next step after you've decided this is the research? So what did you do after that?
The technique that we're using is known as functional electrical stimulation.
What
wait,
is it? Was it known as?
Sorry.
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 Okay, we've jumped ahead. So now you came out, you said you've seen it around you, you said you wanted to
Yeah.
help people.
Yeah.
How did you guys all come together? Was that the next step, you getting
Let's
together?
ask them.
Oh, sure.
Oh yeah, how did you meet Aves?
Yeah, actually, we are all classmates
Okay.
in the same university, NUST.
Yes.
So we had actually met in the second year when we were volunteering for different student-based societies.
All right.
Besides that, we have also performed other projects together. So before this theme was our final year project. So before deciding that we have to work on this idea, we first had gathered the team together
Okay.
because we all have complementary skills. So we were first of all sure that we have to work in this team together, and then we came up with the idea.
Right.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
But usually what happens in universities is, for example, you form a group. You know, there's only one guy who's working in the group. The other, all of them are eating somewhere in the cafeteria. You're looking for them. You're texting them, dude, come on, man, you need to do this. Yeah, so what about you? Now let's talk about the device as well. So TAME is the name of the device you guys made, and it controls the pathological tremors of a human body, right? So when I was going through and when I was studying about it, what I noticed was that, you know, the only disease I knew where your hands move or your body is a bit shaky is Parkinson. So when you guys named it as pathological tremor control device, why did you choose for that?
So pathological tremors is actually an all-encompassing term for all the diseases that cause rhythmic motions, which are involuntary and uncontrollable. So they include Parkinsonian tremors, essential tremors, and even in some cases dystonia.
Okay,
So
excellent.
yes, it's something that covers everything. So we don't have to go to each individual disease separately.
Right, so whatever diseases in wherever there are tremors within the body, and they are all pathological, that's what your device controls.
That's amazing.
Even
So-
while eating food, doing whatever,
Okay,
dancing.
now this is a really in-depth research that must have had to, that you had to do, because it's a huge area, and then different triggers and all of that stuff. So I'm getting confused even trying to form the question. So now, how did you designate, how did you guys work as a team that this is your area of expertise, this is your strength? Tell us about it, break it down, who did what? Abbas, tell us.
Okay, so as Huya mentioned that we've been working together for like 3 years.
Yes.
So we already knew that what different skills each person had. So we made the team first, and so I was more into in the software end, and Huya was more into the hardware end. And
By
Arsalan-
hardware, what do you
yeah.
mean?
By
Because there's a
hardware-
lot of layman people out there who don't understand.
Okay, by hardware is actually the whole electronics part.
Yeah.
And
Electronics.
to program that electronics, I was dealing with that stuff. And the whole outlook and how that actually the device would actually interact with the patient, Arsalan worked on that. And he was actually, he actually made the logo and the whole marketing and branding.
Yeah, it is, and it's
Amazing.
quite amazing. And for all those people who really want to check it out, you know, what you need to do is probably log on to the website, and the name is tame.pk. Tame.pk is the name of the website, and I would request my producer as well to please put on the pictures of Tame as well, so that people can actually get an idea of what the device looks like really. The device, now when I was looking at it, you know, it was like 2-3 patches on the arm, and you know, there was some electrical things going on, but that's not the final design, right?
No.
And it's a wearable device, that's what it is. But for now, it looks like as if it's just for the arms.
Yeah.
So yeah, what future plans do you have about the device as well?
Yeah. So when we started the research, we actually focused on the wrist tremors, which is actually the most disabling tremor. So you have to depend on someone to do your basic tasks. So the next step, you know, if I can go into
Sure,
the
sure,
detail-
Please, no, you
Yeah.
need to keep us going.
Okay.
This is a collaboration.
Okay. Yeah. So the technique that we use is electrical stimulation. It actually contracts muscle to generate a movement. So this technique was around us the whole time. It's actually used in different rehabilitative purposes. So we use this technique for wrist tremors. So the next step can be we can actually use this concept for leg tremors as well.
Yeah.
So you can actually control, you know, tremors for different parts of the body. So that's probably the next step, and we can actually go into different domains using this technique.
And I think for all those kids who jump around, this device can be very helpful at, you know, just controlling them. All right, you know, you need to stop now. Sit down. All right, but what about the hardware? What components were required? And then did you get them in Pakistan as well? Did you have them manufactured? What did you guys do?
Actually, when we started our project, we had this basic aim in mind that we have to make the device so affordable so that the low resource countries like Pakistan and the people who are suffering from tremors here can afford it like easily. So the the components that we use in that device are mainly available in the market even in Pakistan. And right now the prototype that is made that has also been made by the components that are easily available in the market right here.
All right.
Okay.
So how much does it really cost, you know, this entire project? Let's talk about that, and who financed that?
Well, the financing was mostly done by ourselves, but the way we went about that is that we applied for different research grants. So for the term of our final year project and the initial, you could say, bootstrapping, it was done by when we won the Best IT Innovation Award at the end of 2015.
Wow.
Okay.
So that was like
And why did you got that award too? You know, let's discuss that.
that award. Okay, we got that award because again we showcased just the start of our research
Yeah.
and the potential our research could have.
Okay.
So we were at really rudimental stages at the end of 2015. So when we showed the potential and how we were going to go about making this final device, that's I guess what attracted the judges to give us the award.
Okay, so that triggered the interest as well. Now, that's really great that people, were supporting you and they saw. But that means that, apart from being, and doing electrical engineering, you guys also had to do the marketing and all of these things. Now, how was it incorporating all of that into it? Like kind of trying to sell the idea before it even taken off the ground?
Well, I think Arsalan. can
Arsalan,
probably
sorry.
Better.
Okay. I guess
Islam
the-
is very specific and short with his answers, man.
I know.
we ask a long question, he's like, yes.
Like, no, dude.
All right.
well, I guess when it comes to marketing this particular idea, you really have to establish that emotional connection. It is something that we started this project with, and the most important thing to get our idea across is to establish that same connection, because this disease is something that takes away, in some cases it may take away your dignity, it creates embarrassing situations, being able to do even basic tasks. You can even imagine that yourself,
course.
having to drink water but not being able to, having somebody else do that for you.
Yeah.
So in order to do that, we actually have to, in our presentations, in our pitches, we have to, make people, really get there,
Okay.
really understand what it feels like to be a tremor patient.
Okay, absolutely. And what we've noticed is that, especially the new, I think engineers and engineering students get a really bad rep of, not being able to connect with the emotion and, you're just focused on the whole engineering side, but it's so not true. But now, no, the thing is, now what I want to ask, because Huria mentioned, sorry, this is to Arsalan again, that you wanted to make it affordable and you wanted, because everyone suffers from this, especially if they're from a lower income. How do you expect to raise the awareness or to reach people who are suffering from this in maybe the rural areas, or how can they benefit from this when you were trying to sell it, sell the idea back in 2015?
Because the sales needs to be global as well.
Yes, that is true. For, well, initially we were obviously focusing for channels like, like conventions and journals and, different kind of conferences of neurologists to get, a general awareness to the, people.
Amazing.
Everybody comes from, a rural background. So,
Right.
the information can, slowly spread over there. But later on, when we actually complete the final, prototype, we were hoping to, go for campaigns and, like different awareness campaigns, which could also be, of course, in rural areas as well to
Okay,
spread that
excellent.
awareness.
And that makes me
Wonderful.
think that, there might be quite a lot of challenges before going to Stanford as well. Because
Yes.
obviously, since, for example, you guys are competing from us, there might be other universities within Pakistan who wanted to take part in that competition. So what were those challenges before going to California, before being over there within the competition? What did you guys face?
Well, specifically for this challenge?
Yeah, obviously.
Okay, because we've actually,
there's a few.
presented
There's so many. Obviously, 2015, 16, Berlin, Germany, 17,
Yeah.
this competition.
We're focusing on the Stanford
You
one.
guys
Yeah.
are just for competitions, man.
Okay. Yeah. For specifically for this one, we actually didn't know about any other universities who actually participated in this, because
Okay.
what we had was that we actually had to submit our application online, and there were actually 31 judges from the Silicon Valley who actually scrutinized those applications, and only 9 teams. We actually could see only 9 teams when we actually went to Stanford. So we don't actually know who actually submitted those applications,
Okay.
but there were like 75 applications from 20 countries.
All right.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's that's an amazing achievement, by the way. This is really great. Now, okay, sorry. Just before so I need to ask this one
Sure,
question
sure,
before
go
we to talk about the hurdles. Just because it's like the whole neurological, like how you doing it, the electrical,
Yeah,
like.
electrical
Yeah.
stimulation.
Now, you guys are engineers. How did biology or anything come into this when you were creating the prototype?
Yeah, definitely.
and stuff. Like I was like, how did you mix this? Because you're engineers.
Yeah.
Wait, who did the medical side of it? That just occurred to me. So yeah. Sorry,
Yeah, who did it?
continue.
Yeah, so we actually collaborated. Well, thank you to NAST
Yeah.
for marketing.
Yeah.
So, well, they actually collaborated. We actually collaborated with the hospital, Fuji Foundation Hospital in Islamabad, and we actually got in contact with a couple of very well-renowned neurologists who actually knew this domain.
Okay.
And they actually, they were always there for when we actually tested it on the patients as well.
Right.
So, but as you mentioned, that how do electrical engineers do this? Well, there's a whole domain for it. It's called biomedical engineering.
Yeah.
So
Alright.
where you mix those two.
And you guys are doing that.
Well, sort of.
Okay. This is what I wanted to check.
Biomedical engineering.
Because I knew
wow,
it was
that's a big
biomedical
term,
engineering. I
man.
was like, wait, are you guys biomedical engineers? Like, are they going to just start electrocuting?
Okay, now since we've discussed about the device which you guys have made, it's a brilliant idea you guys even want. What is the future of this device? And how do you guys want to take it forward as well? Are you guys going to compete in or probably be in different expos all around the globe as well? Are you looking for investors now? Well, how's it going to work?
Who's going to
Anybody?
answer this? Arslan?
Whoever wants to answer.
Okay, I guess I'll answer that.
Yeah.
So right now, we would actually like to make it clear that our device is still in something that we would like to call a research phase.
Okay.
So right now, what we're doing is we're finalizing the algorithm and the hardware design, just like you saw the sleeve. So we're kind of trying to finish the product, and then we're going to look for investors or see how we can take this project forward. Right now, we are involved with different organizations in trying to build a venture out of this. So yeah, I guess the first thing is finishing the project, and then
Okay.
And how long do you think it's going to take?
I can't actually put a timeline on that. I think Awais in
Because
Korea
for all
would-
those people who are out there,
Yeah.
and for people who are actually suffering, they might just want it right now as well.
Yes,
There might be people, the demand is going to increase as well. So just giving them a time frame that by this time it's going to be available as well.
Okay. So
And
as
how
of-
much is it going to cost roughly?
Okay, that's a lot of questions.
sorry.
He first tells me we need to go for a break, so
They
I don't ask my questions, and then he asks
They
all
just
the
occurred
questions.
to me, man. That's what it is. Yeah.
Okay. Do you want me to answer?
Yes,
yeah,
please
okay.
answer them.
Well, as Arslan mentioned, that we can't actually put a timeline on it. But since this is a medical project, so we need to go through certain channels. So it might take around a year or more probably to get all those certifications to actually sell this device.
Alright.
And what about the cost? So it's when we started this device, as Ria mentioned, that we actually wanted to be affordable for everyone in the low resource countries. So probably what we have in mind, it's hopefully going to be less than $100.
All right.
Like,
Wow,
less than
that's
that.
great. $100 means 10,000 rupees. That's what it is, and I think it's going to be pretty comfortable as well for all those people who want to buy. But Huria, I'm really sorry that I'm going to put you in the spotlight. What you need to do is we need to go for a short break, and you're going to give away the link as well. So just tell them that we're going for a break.
All right, so we're going to head for a break right now and see you soon.
passion for polo will be the highest on the world's highest polo ground. Chandur invites visitors to experience a traditional polo tournament between the teams of Chitral and Gilgit. The tournament is held on Chandur Pass, the highest polo ground in the world, at 3,700 meters above sea level. The first time a polo tournament took place on the Chandur Pass was in 1936. It is a place unique and exotic in itself, surrounded by some of the most spectacular mountain scenery in the world. The event marks the annual rivalry between the teams of Chitral and Gilgit. The polo tournament has some added attractions for the visitors: trout fishing at the nearby streams and lakes, and a festival of folk dances and music of northern Pakistan. The event in itself offers a fascinating insight into the lifestyle of the people of this region. Their culture and indigenous customs are a delight to behold for the visitors. Crystal clear lakes, snow-covered mountains, alpine flowers, and vast stretches of green grass are added attractions. Fairs and festivals of Pakistan.
Welcome back, everyone. And before the break, we were in discussion with some young engineers who've been across in America and have won multiple competitions, actually. And it is called TAME. And we're going to share the video with you again for all those viewers who have just joined us to tell you what we're talking about, because you really need to know what the youth of Pakistan are doing today. So let's go take a look at the video again.
So no more shaky hands.
Good morning. Imagine that one day you wake up and you're unable to do the most basic tasks like eating, drinking, or even dressing yourselves. Imagine how will it actually make you feel being dependent on someone else for the rest of your lives. The fragment of imagination that we just created is actually the sad reality of over 280 million people around the world who have lost their independence due to one of the most common movement disorders in the world, known as pathological tremors. These tremors cause involuntary shaking of the body parts, most commonly your hands, which disables the patient. And people most commonly know these tremors as Parkinson's or essential tremors. And despite being such a major problem, even in this modern age of medical miracles, there is still no cure for the disorder. However, there are some existing solutions, like medication, which only has a temporary effect and the body eventually becomes immune to it. Or deep brain stimulation, which involves the placement of electrodes inside the brain. It is a highly expensive procedure and causes surgical complications and may have adverse side effects. Other solutions either have a limited application, or they hinder the voluntary movement of the patient. So in these circumstances, I'd like to say that the existing solutions are just not enough. This creates a wall for the patient, which forces them.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, so that was a brief overview once again. That was a recap of the video we played initially when we started the show, and it was for all those people who actually just tuned in as well. We've got these amazing kids over here who are engineers. They made us proud, and as
They're
a
not
matter of
kids,
fact,
they're young adults.
Yes. All right.
Yes.
Call them young adults.
Yes.
Well, that's very confusing. Young and adults.
Yes, because they're not kids. Because when they go home, their parents are like, "Well, you're kids. What do you know?" But they've just gone and won a competition against MIT and Stanford students, so that's great. But
Amazing,
now,
amazing. But
I want to ask a question first.
Obviously, sure. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
great, thank you. So I want to
Ladies
ask
first.
Huria. Now, presenting, we just saw Avais presenting in Berlin, correct? Now, how was it presenting your idea, your prototype, everything in Stanford?
Presenting our idea in Stanford was actually we have actually participated in different competitions before, and we
How
have
many did you do before that?
I don't-
Roughly.
roughly 10 or 11.
Oh, wow,
Wow.
that's a lot.
Yes.
Okay. So you're seasoned.
Yes.
Okay.
So right now we have a lot of practice of presenting on different platforms, but the problem with the Stanford competition was that there was a very tough rubric, and we had to shape our presentation according to that.
Alright.
And there were only like 7 minutes allotted for the presentation, in which we had to cover all of the different aspects that they were referring to.
Okay.
So I think the time limit was the toughest part in that.
Okay.
Alright,
Yeah,
that
we
is
struggle with time limits too.
We struggle with pretty much everything. But other than that, you know, all three of you, you are the core members or the co-founders, right? But there might be other people working with you guys as a team as well. So would you guys mind mentioning their names as well?
No, we wouldn't mind.
Oh my God. Guys, if you're watching, Arsalan
Sorry,
really
the question was
minds.
a bit tricky. Yeah, go ahead, Ursula.
So
Thank everybody whom you want to thank, and you know, just
Or
give,
not.
give your
I actually
acceptance
have a
speech.
list for that.
Yeah, give
Like
your
a long
acceptance
list.
speech.
Okay, yes.
Okay,
And we'll
so
stop playing music like the Oscars do. Once you stop.
okay, so again, we were the three members, you know, the core team members,
Yeah.
and then we had the medical team. So we had Dr. Khalid Farooq, Dr. Tasawwur Hussain, Dr. Saira Saad, and Dr. Rabia, who helped us from Fauji Foundation Fauji Foundation Hospital and Foundation University Medical College.
Okay.
And then we have, of course, all our teacher mentors to, you know, thank. We had Dr. Khawar Khurshid, Dr. Kazmi, and Dr. Majid Maqbool. So these are all the people who helped us, you know, from the teaching side. And then, of course, we have to thank our, you know, principal, Dr. Zaidi, you know, from SEEKS, who, you know, arranged all this. You know, he's really helping us network with, you know, different industrial
That's
leaders
great.
right now. And of course, the rector NUST and all the people, you know, involved in NUST, and you know, they're really, you know, after the Stanford competition, they're really getting involved and, you know, trying to help us out.
Amazing that is. And one last thing before we wrap up with that is that, you know, because when we had the chairman probably or the director or the head of the NUST University, he told us that, you know, you guys have incubation centers as well. Do you think these incubation centers are going to help you probably fund your project as well?
Yeah, I think these incubation centers are actually growing in Pakistan as well, and NUST has an center called TAC.
And NUS was the first one to
Oh
actually
yeah,
make
it's
one.
just like, what is this? I'm
Yeah.
just hearing.
No, incubation center, ladies and gentlemen,
We
for all
know.
those people who are out
Yeah,
there,
yeah.
you know, let's just tell them. So incubation center is basically a place where, you know, they support them. Whatever idea they have, you know, they'll obviously screen that idea and then they'll give them funds to probably develop and work on that. And then HEC even followed this idea. Now even HEC's got incubation centers.
Yeah, that's wonderful.
So do you think it's going to help you guys as well?
Yeah, I think definitely, because at the stage when you recently graduate, you're just an engineer, as you mentioned. So you need to groom yourself in the business side and how to actually sell this device, how to get your idea across. So these incubation centers not only help you develop the business side, they actually also fund you. So that's a whole package.
That's wonderful. And now, because we just final words. Now, Shahzad has asked going forward. We've already asked that question. But in regards to this whole motivating other students, you guys seem to have had a lot of support. It seems like, you know, there's been a very smooth ride comparatively for you guys. Okay, wait, you're making faces now. No, I don't know. I'm confused.
No.
Comparatively. Now, if people, okay, or you haven't had a smooth ride. Now tell us, people who are in the same boat, who are going through all the struggles that you have faced, you know, because obviously once you win major competitions, then the attention is on you too, because it becomes so much easier. But before that, there were hurdles. Now, what would you say? I'm start with you, Huria, and then I want each of you to give something for all those students out there, because you know what it's like to be out there. What would you say to them? Like, maybe their teachers aren't supporting them, maybe someone's trying to steal their idea, maybe it's trying to sabotage
Or
it.
they got married earlier.
Or maybe,
Yeah.
or maybe they're working on a biomedical device and they have to get ethical approvals from hospitals, which will
Yeah.
require lots and lots of time.
Yeah, okay, so
Yes.
tell us that. So tell us what
So what I would like to say to all of these students who are struggling with their
Talk to them.
projects. All right. So yes, all those students who are struggling with their projects and you are right now going forward with the business idea that you have in your mind, I just would like to tell you that you have to go forward and stay persistent with your idea, because it's you that has all of the potential, and if you put your mind to it, then you can achieve all of the success.
Oh, wonderful. Arslan, what would you say?
I would like to say to the camera, right?
Or to us, whoever you like. I give up
Okay,
now. I just don't know.
I'll talk to the camera if that's okay.
Okay, please, yeah.
I guess I would just like to say that if you truly believe in something, that you should, really stay persistent. Although it might seem in the beginning that things might not be turning out your way, but if you stick at it and you keep going after it, eventually, God makes ways for you.
Yeah.
Wow.
And the
Great.
best.
So believe in your own self.
Yeah. So just to give a little bit of the background, but everyone actually sees the success that we've had. So to actually tell you the whole story, there's actually been lots of times when we thought that we were about to give up on this
Yeah.
because you have to stay persistent because you'll face a lot of hurdles, and especially in a biomedical device. So my message is more patriotic to
Sure,
the
go ahead.
nation, and what I would like to say is that Pakistan has actually a lot of talent, and we only the problems that we see around us are opportunities that we need to realize.
Okay.
And
Interesting.
when we actually presented in Stanford, and we actually Alhamdulillah came first. So this actually shows you that innovation is not actually limited to a geographical region. It can come from anywhere.
Yeah.
Wonderful. That's absolutely beautiful messages. Thank you so much, and congratulations, and well done for persevering and coming through on the other side. And guys are going to do great things. And we hope that you'll come back and
Yeah.
tell
And all
us
the
more
best
about
for,
it.
your future endeavors as well. Keep on doing it. And, this platform is always available for you guys.
Always.
You're doing a great job. Keep on doing that as well.
Thank you
So
so
with
much.
that, ladies and gentlemen, I think what we need to do is, do you want to say something about it?
I just think that, like what they were saying, that look, we all live and work in Pakistan. We
Yeah.
all know what it's like. And there's a lot of naysayers. So just, there's always bad news, but there will be light at the end of the tunnel. So do just stick around for that light and do keep trying.
Exactly, and the only thing which I'm going to say, I think it's going to be a continuation of what you said, that it does not really matter that where you are from, geographically. The only thing which
Beautiful.
matters is that that you are able to gather all those resources which are going to be very functional for you. That's what it is, and even if you have to go to USA, England, wherever for your research, all you have to do is come back, make sure that the device is actually from Pakistan, and that's what the origin is all about. Thank
Exactly.
you very much for making us proud.
Thank you so much. And so now we have to quickly do our vegetable of the day. And I got it right. It is a vegetable. And today it is?
It is, you want to say it in
Yeah.
English first?
Yeah, cucumber.
And in Urdu, it's known as kheera.
Okay, so it is good it helps in managing diabetes, and it's good if you're suffering from high blood pressure.
It keeps your body healthy and functioning,
And it helps prevention of constipation.
reduces risk of kidney stones.
And it provides bright and glowing complexions for all those people obsessed with their complexions.
Yeah, and one other extra bit, and that is, ladies and gentlemen, for example, for all those people who are dieting, if you want to skip your midday meal, all you need to do is probably just have like 2 cucumbers a day, and it is going to burn your fat or cut your fat.
Okay, but you shouldn't be skipping meals. So
Yeah, but just
let's-
have 2 cucumbers, that's a
Okay,
meal.
okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
With that, welcome to our Facebook fan page,
Which is with the name World This Morning,
our Twitter page,
World This Morning without a G,
our Daily Motion and YouTube
World
page.
This Morning, World This Morning,
And the repeat is at
11 p.m.
Have a wonderful day, and we will see you bright and early tomorrow morning.
And don't forget to log on to tame.pk as well. Look after yourselves. 1, 2, 3.
Good morning.